The sample upon which Old Town Road is based is a 2-bar banjo loop. It's very unique sounding for two different reasons. One is that it's banjo. And banjo gets made fun of a lot. Let's just say it that way. I'm a banjo lover, and especially after Old Town Road, but it's definitely not your typical hip hop sound. For sure. And I think this is one of the calculations in using the sound. For Young Keo and for Lil Nas, putting a banjo into this kind of hip-hop urban sort of sound was really cool. And that's what we call genre blending. In this case, Lil Nas had gotten interested in this subgenre called country trap, which is kind of fooling around with cowboy imagery and country stuff at the same time that you have these great trap beats that are taken out of the hip-hop trap subgenre. So a great combination of really, really different sounds put together to create something that's entirely unique. So using an unusual sound like that, especially if it's unusual for your genre, is going to create instant recognizability and just that amount of difference to make your song stand out. In this case, not only was the sound really identifiable, but the chord progression is identifiable. This is one of the 3 or 4 songs in that set of the top 20 songs from 2010 and 2020 that goes outside of the key or outside of the norm. It's the only one besides Travis Scott that goes outside of the key. So in this case, what do I mean when I say it goes outside of the key? The song is in the key of G sharp major. It starts on 2 notes that are part of a G sharp major triad. The next chord has a B in the bass. So there's no B in the key of G sharp major. So right away we have an anomaly. We have 2 things that kind of don't go together. We go from major, that root note is a minor in the key. And so we're doing what we call pulling from the parallel minor. So we start out on a major chord, and then when we go to the second chord, we're actually playing a chord that would be if we were in a minor key. And in fact, that continues through the rest of the chord progression until we get back to here. And you can hear that sound is a surprise because it's major in a set of chords that are part of a minor key. This trick of pulling from the parallel minor gives major keys a little bit of sadness, a little bit of that tug of dissonance that we're looking for in terms of creating emotional chord progressions. It also gives us, the second chord actually has a 9th on the top in relation to the root note. And again, I'm going to point out to you how powerful the 9th is as a color note, a voicing note, in terms of creating sounds that are just a little bit more dissonant and a little bit more interesting than if he had gone, right? So we have a little bit more of a question going on. I love this chord progression. All of the chords are major, and yet the chord progression sounds sad. And that's that relationship of that parallel minor. So a great thing to try is just to experiment with modal interchange, with borrowing a chord from another key to see if you can bust your song's tonality out of a boring rut and get it into a place where it feels more interesting.